Welcome to the Stoic Responder Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Healy. As a special agent who spent more than 15 years conducting large-scale fraud, money laundering, and public corruption investigations, Stoic philosophy provided a mindset edge that became the foundation of my professional success. My mission today is to share those same ancient mindset lessons with you so that you can turn obstacles into opportunities and adversity into advantage. Time to muster up. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Stoic Responder Podcast. This is episode 36, and it is Thursday, July 25th. I'm your host, Christopher Healy. Let me start you out with a quote. This is from Marcus Aurelius. It reads, "Either teach them better if it be in thy power, or if it be not, remember that for this use to bear with them patiently was mildness and goodness granted unto thee." And that's a little bit clunky, but let me break it down for you. Basically, what Marcus is saying is, if you have the option to teach someone how to be better, in other words, if you have the power, if you have dominion over somebody and you can teach them to change their behavior, if you can create a better version of that person through your direction, then do so. But if not, remember, be patient, because mildness and goodness are personality traits that you have within your command. In other words, patience is a virtue. Now, if you're a parent, like I am, you should be thinking of this quote pretty often because, man, I lose patience a lot. I lose patience with kids not listening, with kids not doing things that they should. And I constantly have to remind myself that I have two options here. I can teach them the better way because it is in my power to do so. Or if it's something where they just have to learn on their own, or if you're dealing with a child on the spectrum like I do, and they don't learn in the same way, the same traditional way, or they see the world in a very different way, learning patience and leaning into your mildness and goodness that was granted unto you is hyper important. The saying patience is a virtue. It's been around. It's been expressed in various forms across different cultures and traditions over the centuries. One of the earliest known expressions of this idea in literature is actually found in the Canterbury Tales, which was written by the English poet Geoffrey Chaucer in the late 14th century. If you're like me, you probably had to endure, death by Chaucer at some point in high school. You read all of these versions of the Canterbury Tales, and the Franklin's Tale in particular, Chaucer wrote, "For patience is a high virtue." And that is the earliest writing of that I can find. But the concept, it's deeply rooted in religious and philosophical traditions as well. In Christianity, patience is considered one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit. It is extolled as a virtue in the New Testament. The Stoic philosophers also emphasize it, obviously, as Marcus Aurelius does here. They emphasize the importance of patience in enduring life's hardships with equanimity and with resilience, with personal. Again, we've talked about that inner fortress that we need to create to gain more resilience. Patience plays a major role in that creation of the inner citadel. But in the above passage, where Marcus Aurelius is kind of saying this in a clunkier way, it reminds us of another reflection on the virtue of patience is responding to others with compassion and understanding, even in challenging situations, which if you are in law enforcement, if you are a first responder, you have to practice this every single day. You have to respond to individuals with compassion and understanding in the midst of some of the most challenging situations you can imagine. You see, we all have a choice in how we engage with those around us, with those that we are responding to. We can either seek to educate and uplift them, as Marcus suggests, when it's within our capacity to do so. So your subordinate employees, your children, etc. Or we can practice patience and tolerance when we're faced with their shortcomings or limitations. The general public, for instance, right? You're going to respond to calls to people who may make your blood boil. You cannot change them. So treat them with patience and tolerance when you're faced with their shortcomings and limitations. It's especially true, like I said, for police. Practice of patience is essential to our own career longevity, to our own resilience, to building that inner sanctum, that inner citadel, that inner fortress that the Stoics talk about. In every single interaction we have a choice between the trigger and between the emotional reaction. We have the choice to lose our cool or the choice to keep it. And sometimes that choice comes down to taking a single deep breath. Exhale. Let the situation calm down. Treat the person in front of you with patience. Treat the person in front of you with tolerance. Treat the person in front of you with understanding, because it is not within your power to change their attitude, to change who they are, to make them a better version of themselves. You must react to them as they are with patience and tolerance. Again, every interaction we have the choice to lose our cool or to keep it. Let's make sure that we choose wisely today and every day. Let me leave you with a journal prompt today, folks. Think of the last time you lost your patience with someone. It's probably not that long ago. I want you to think about that. I want you to ask yourself, what could I have done differently in that situation to uplift and educate instead? And if I couldn't uplift and educate, what did I gain by losing my patience? Did I gain anything other than frustration and anxiety by exhibiting intolerance instead of tolerance? Probably not. But for the sake of today's journal, write it down. What could I have done differently in that situation to uplift and educate instead? Guys, if you're enjoying this podcast, if you're getting something out of it, thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to support us, here's a couple ways you can do so. Number one, you can pick up a copy of my book, In Valor, 365 Stoic Meditations for First Responders, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and anywhere you get your books. It's available on Kindle and Nook for instant download right now, or you can get the paperback edition sent to you Amazon Prime. You can have it in 2 days if you just go online and order it right this very minute. It's like $24.99 on Prime, and you get 365 Stoic meditations, daily practice where you can apply this philosophy to your life. You can practice it. You can work on these journal prompts. You can take this information, this contextualization, you can apply it to your life and your job on and off duty. It's going to give you those quotes, the contextualization that directly relate to what you do on a daily basis. Number two, you can subscribe to the Stoic Responder for free on Substack. Once you get on that page, you subscribe for free. You're going to get all 4 episodes in your email inbox every week. You're also going to get any bonus episodes that I produce, like the one that I did last week with my friend Jeff Fields, where we talked about the Trump assassination attempt and our background as investigators looking into security incidents on behalf of DHS. It's a great episode. You should go check it out if you haven't listened to it yet. But if you sign up for Substack, you won't miss any of these episodes because they'll go straight directly to your email inbox. You're also going to get my newsletters that have leadership and personal development tips based on Stoic wisdom. So you'll get it all for free if you just go over to Substack. That's going to be the stoicresponder.substack.com and subscribe right there. And finally, the easiest thing that you can do to support this podcast is to like, share, and subscribe wherever you're listening so that others can learn about what we're doing here and benefit from it as well. Guys, I got one more episode for you this week. It drops on Friday. Until next time, you are out of roll. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, like, rate, and share this podcast so that we can spread the benefits of Stoicism to other first responders. It will only take you a few moments, but it can help us tremendously. Until next time, out of roll.